Hello, hello, everyone. It's Birdie here, the recycled hippie chick. Hey, I have to just sit down and do some journaling tonight. It has been so long. I've been trying to put journals together for an art show coming up, and I just recently sold every single journal that I had left in my Etsy shop, which was huge and wonderful and a blessing for me. So now I have to get busy and replenish my stock, and I also have to get ready for this art sale. So I just thought I have to sit down and just de-stress, detox, and do something for myself. My poor little DAR 63 inspired journal has been sitting over there, and I've done 2 little videos on it. I've wanted to do a little series on this whole book, so I drug it out and thought, let's do a page in it. And then when I opened it up to the next spread that we're to do, I realized that didn't remember it, but I went through and found a few little tidbits to put on each page that maybe I could use or that I would like. And I did it through the whole book. So that's pretty cool. So I've maybe already got some of my stuff I want to use. So let's play a little bit tonight. I think I'm going to, I think I'm just going to use, I kind of want to use up the rest of that glue, but it's such a pain to get it out. Let's see what I have here. What's my drug of choice today? Yep, looks like it's going to be Mod Podge because I can't find the tacky glue and my... Well, hello there. My tablet is sitting up there completely off, and it just made a noise, and I have no idea why it's making a noise at me. Okay, let's see here. Let me find a couple colors that we can use. Let's use a turquoise, and let's use an ochre. I love yellow ochre. And we probably ought to have 3 colors, so let's throw in a green, in which I think is over here. Okay, I had a granddaughter spend the night last night, and she wanted to paint out in the rock garden at the table. So, ooh, I'm not even sure these two go together, but tonight they're going to go together. So, first thing I want to do is get some collage down, and then I'll paint. Is that right? When we're journaling by 5s, we paint, then we collage. So I'm going to do a little painting first. There's no rhyme or reason, but geez, I'm so out of whack with my creativity that I kind of feel like I need a plan. I don't want to get paint on my other goodies that I have sticking in there. So I'm going to put a paper in between them. Let's see here. Put a paper in between this one. Whoopsie doodle. There we go. All right. So, how has everyone been? I have been practicing not being busy, and in doing that I end up busy, so I'm still failing at my quest at not being busy. Today we had a hole in the goat pen, the hole in the fence, so my husband and I went out, and of course that opened up a whole can of worms. That led us past a huge tree that we had cut down a couple weeks ago in the burn pile, in which we thought, what the heck, the wind is only 9 to 11 miles an hour today. Let's go ahead and burn. So we called in our burn permit and tried to start it, but I think the wood is just too green, plus it has rained so much. Green and wet, it just didn't, we just didn't get it started very well. So then we went over and started to mend an area in the goat pasture where they had completely had the fence smashed over, but are too dingy to realize they could get out. So we thought we better fix that fence before they do realize they could get out and wander wherever they want to wander. So that led to chainsawing some trees and, you know, kind of revamping. A bunch of honeysuckle had grown up in the trees and was woven into the fence, and it was just, you know, our life here is a chain reaction. Everything ends up to be a chain reaction. So I can tell you right now, I'm hurting, and I had to go ahead and break down and take a couple Advil 800 milligram or whatever they are when they give you those Advils for like a root canal or something. I don't like to take pills, but I was hurting, so I knew I probably ought to take something so I could walk tomorrow. And oh, foop-de-doop, my little circle that I want to use, well, maybe once I get some gesso on it and my, what do you call it, ochre, maybe that will pull some of this color back and I'll be able to use that. Right now it's going to blend in too much, so I'm not going to be able to use it yet. These fodder things that I learned about are just fantabulous. I made a bunch of pages of fodder, which look like these, and you can just tear them out and rip them out and glue them on whenever you want, and it's just been fantastic. I have been having fun using those. Let's just say that. My little book is Dar 63 Inspired. She made one of these on Instagram, and I just loved it. So I decided I wanted to add one of these to my library. So that's what I'm doing. It's just taking a little pamphlet and tearing each page a little longer, and it's just a really cool idea. Something different. Something different. I want to put Spot on here. You don't realize what small pictures you are required in these little books, because you don't have much room on these first few pages. And obviously I am not a small picture finder, because a lot of my pictures are larger. There we go. Little guy will fit on there. I don't want to get too much paint on him, although a little bit does kind of help him blend in with the background, which is good. There we go. And now I think I'll put this little guy on. I have been watching You know what? When I do these in little sections, I don't know what I've told you already. But if I've already told you this, just ignore me. I've been watching Gilmore Girls again. For I think this is my 6th time of going through the 7 seasons. But you know, I love just having noise on out here when I'm in the art room. And it's great when it's a series like that that you already are familiar with, because you don't have to really pay attention. You can just have it on for the noise and create with something going on in the background. So I've been enjoying the Gilmore Girls. Let's see, what else can I put on there? I don't feel like that's enough. I feel like we need something. I'm going to put C Spot on there, but I want something else. Oh, okay, so while I'm thinking about something else that I want to put on there, I got to show you what I did last night. We'll just set this aside for a second while I'm thinking about what I need next. I watched this gal. I think the name of her little video is called like Art Journal with Me. I just found her. She's the sweetest little Southern gal. And she had found this little doohickey. I don't know. Kind of looks like a little wallet that somebody had done. And she was showing how to do them on her channel. And so I worked along with her and done it. And I'm not done yet because this is too scrapbooky looking for me. So I think what I'm going to do is take everything off and kind of grunge it up. Maybe run some gesso, smear some gesso over the top, or maybe do a jelly print and just smash it on my jelly plate. I don't know yet, but this is a little too matchy-matchy scrapbooky for me. I guess it's the scrapbook paper, which I'm not a fan of. But this thing has 1, 2, 3 pockets on the cover. You flip it over. It's got 2 pockets on the back. You open it. It has a tuck spot on the top and 2 more pockets on the bottom. This little booger is the only one of these I will ever make, because it took me over an hour to make this little thing. So I'm going to grunge it up and put it in my own journal. I thought this would be fun to make and stick in my naked journals so that, you know, it'd be a nifty little something different to stick in there. But no, this is too much labor. Also, what I did was I lightly tacked. Well, first of all, you got to go through and sew the tops before you ever assemble it of each pocket. Amy's version, Birdie's version. And then I tacked it all down the sides everywhere, and then went back and sewed it all together, trying to hold both sides on, sewing. It was, yeah, it was not as easy as you might think it would be. So I'm going to go ahead and finish my little tags, put little ribbon on them, and grunge it up some more and put it in my own journal. There you have it. I think it's Junk Journal with Me. So if you are interested in something like this, jump over her page, and she just gives the best directions on how to do it. But it did take Birdie a long time. Okay, now back to what I was doing. I want to put something else on there. These are too big, so I can't put a napkin on there. I have my little bitty basket, humongous basket full of stuff over here I could use from. This would be kind of cool. I kind of like that. Brush. Let's see here. How do we want to do this? None of my paint is dry, so I should have this jar over on my left side. I'm a left-hander, and I reach across myself. If I put everything on my left side where I could reach it, oh my gosh, half of my table would be taken up. But I do need to make things more readily available. My granddaughter came over to spend the night, and she was like, Gigi, your art room looks different again. I'm like, I know. I have rearranged this room, this 2-car garage, so many times that it isn't even enjoyable anymore. Because I'll come out here to get something to where one of the other 5 or 6 times that item was, I go to and can't find it now. So I've got to stop. My brain just cannot handle trying to figure all this stuff out anymore. Not going to happen. It's got to just stay. So I'm still not completely content, but I'm coming to the conclusion that that's probably just an issue I have of non-contentness, instead of it just, you know, really not being cohesive for me. It's probably just that I'm not content. So I need to get over myself and get content, because being outside today and working makes me realize that things, the older I get, things need to find a home and find them quickly. And this, however I've been in the past years of wanting to move my flower beds and all that stuff that I've done for so long, is coming to an end. My body is saying, you are done. So I need to start learning to be content and get everything to where it's simple and can be for an older person. Yes, that's what I need to do. This would be the best if I waited for it to dry before I tore it. But I'm impatient, and I probably ought to wait here because I'm afraid I'll rip my little circle if I go through there. Okay, see, I don't have room on my left side for that. Let's put some ochre on here and some gesso. This room is so dirty. I hear you guys say that all the time. My art room is so dirty. I'm beginning to think it's just part of our personality. I'm just thinking that we artsy-fartsy people are just messy by nature. What do you think? Of course, then there's some of y'all's art studios that I see that I think, good grief, y'all are too clean. But boy, wouldn't that be cool to be too clean. I can't even imagine. Cannot even imagine. You know, I can't tell you how much easier it is to do gesso when I am videoing and not thinking. I am terrible at spreading gesso when when my mind is in it, because I smear it too heavily and it ends up in great big panels of white. And when I'm talking to you guys, I tend to do a better job. So there's part of my therapy that we can knock off in the books. Spreading gesso, check. Now all we have to do is put C-spot on there, and I think we have completed another DAR 63 page. It's definitely wet. Where's our little C-spot word? There it is. I'm not sure this is the... Yeah, it's a brush I was using. My husband's at the races tonight. His brother races stock cars at the local speedway here, so he went to be his pit man, and I just decided I could do whatever I wanted tonight. No need to sit and be with him, and you know, he likes to watch TV with me and all that good jazz, and tonight I can just do whatever. So I went to town. I had to go to one of my old gardening customer and close friend's house. She recently moved out of state, and she texted me and said, hey, my herb, she uses an old galvanized wash tub for her herbs on her patio deck, and she said, I didn't have room in the moving truck for my herb, you know, my galvanized herb bucket. Would you take it? And I'm like, absolutely. And I will plant herbs in it and keep that tradition going for you. So I ran into her house tonight and got her herb bucket and stopped by the little plant hut and got me some herbs to put in it, and went by Sonic and got me a pretzel with that cheese sauce. Oh my gosh, you guys, the Sonic pretzels are killer good. And I decided I wasn't going to cook supper. I'd just have me a peach tea and a pretzel. And here I am out in the art room. No dishes. I'm going to get some ink. Let's see here what we can do. Do I want to splatter it? Do I want to go around the edges? What do I want to do? I think I'm going to splatter it. Maybe go around the edges too. Who knows? I don't know that I've ever splattered the ink before. Let's see here. I think I'm going to use a fan brush. Of course, there's not one anywhere when you want it. There's one. Okay. All right. Let's see how this works. Let's test drive it first. Yeah, that's not too bad, is it? I probably ought to get some of those fancy clips y'all use to hold my pages down. Ah, that was a big splatter. Okay, stop, Birdie, stop before you go too far. Okay. Got some ink on there. And, well, here, let's see if maybe we can go around the edge too. Like, instead of Stabilo, do some ink. This is what I do a lot of my fodder with. Is I have a parrot feather a friend gave me, and I had an old nubbin in a box from an estate sale. You know, this doesn't look too whoopy here. And so I've done a lot of my fodder scribbling with this thing. Yeah, this isn't going to go very well. Darn it, I thought that'd be kind of cool. Nope. I'll just use my Stabilo. That's not a very good plan. I better just stick with the fodder with that. I'm just trying to use things that I have that I don't usually use, like the ink, and I want to use more oil pastels. Here, we'll just do that. I'll use an oil pastel instead of my Stabilo. I just want to use some different stuff. We'll see if they smear. Yeah, just like a Stabilo. Okay. I don't want to smear my splatters. I also watched Melanie Sullivan tonight. And she was showing her Reckitt journal. A walkthrough of her Reckitt journal. I think that looks fun too. Just lets you unleash and bring out your inner third grader. I mean, what she did in hers was she wrote on each page, it appeared. She didn't really explain, and probably did way back when she was doing it, and I haven't watched those videos yet. But what she appeared to do was, it looked like on each page of her journal, she wrote a prompt. Like on one page it would say food labels, you know, or whatever. And that whole page she would have saved food labels and stuck the banana sticker and, you know, all that kind of stuff in there. And another one would say, bling it, bling this page. And she would have sequins and glitter and, you know, she would bling up the page. So she didn't do it in a way where she was trying to be artsy. She just did it to free herself, and it was elementary and fun looking. It did look really fun. One page would say bright colors. Another page would say make pictures using your scissors. And, you know, it just, every page had a cool little prompt in it. And I really, really thought it looked cute. I'm sure when we're gone and our children go through our bookshelves and see all the stuff that we've done, they're going to think we have lost it, but I don't care. I'll be gone by then. It's just, I don't know. I think we have to be so much of an adult that these things are good therapy, and it's good medicine for us to go through and do and free up our adult mind. There you go. Okay. Our little spread, our little 2.5 inch spread. One thing I learned in this therapy session is I can cover up my picture and be okay. I have a hard time doing that. Have a hard time making layers. So that's what I'm learning in these therapy sessions with myself. All right. There you go. I'm so glad you guys joined me. Another book in our DAR Inspired Journal. We'll start again on another page next time. Bye-bye from Birdie.